I'm Varun.
I'm just Paddy B, keeping you informed. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be about Epic Games. As we all know, they have recently just filed a lawsuit against Apple and Google. They subsequently broke the terms of use on both platforms, and both platforms have obviously seen that they've broke the terms of use and have not terminated but suspended their downloading of the app on their services. So let's look at what Epic Games' problem is with both Google and Apple. Google and Apple take 30% of all transactions that goes through their store systems. But this also includes if you want to sell microtransactions on your service, you have to use the inbuilt payment system on both systems. Say that there's a new skin that you want. It's £3. You would open your Android app, you would open the game, you would be taken to Google Pay and you'd pay for it. Google would get 30% of that income. So Epic Games' problem is that they don't want to basically give anything for the running of their app on Apple phone or a Google phone. The problem is, and this is where it gets a little bit complicated. You look at both the setup of Apple and Google. Apple's very much an enclosed system. Everything on Apple is Apple. Yes, you can get certain apps on there that are pre-approved by Apple themselves and you tick along. Google, however, is more of an open system. So I find it very difficult on Epic's case here to agree with them when it comes to Google, because Google you can do agreements with. Obviously, if you've annoyed them and you've tried to circumvent things, they're not going to work with you. The examples of Google being that it's more open is look at an LG phone, look at a Samsung phone. You have a Samsung store, you have an LG store. Now, LG recently came out with our contract prevents us from putting a preloaded Epic Game Store in our phone. Now, you can believe that or not believe it, but I find it weird considering Samsung had an exclusivity deal with Fortnite, where if you bought the Galaxy Note 9, you could get the Galaxy skin. So why would Google have a contract with LG prohibiting them from doing that, but not the same with Samsung? Something doesn't seem quite right there. So to get to the root of my problem with Epic Games, we have to start at looking at what they did last year. Epic Games decided they wanted to have a go at Steam taking 30% of all transactions. The difference being is that Steam does individual deals with different companies. So Company A is on a different deal to Company B. Not every company pays 30%. So if you're a little company with very little overheads and you've got 2 people on your team creating a game, they're not going to charge you 30%. They do different deals. But Epic Games took it upon themselves to basically go, we don't like that. Started offering bigger developers better deals, companies that don't need the money. For example, Rockstar. Don't know why they decided to sign an exclusivity deal for GTA 5 to go on to Epic Games for free. They have enough money, but I guess if Epic Games is willing to pay them, they're going to jump at that chance. So then you bring it into this year. This year, they've obviously went public and decided to denounce Apple's and Google's practices of the same thing. So let's back it up just before we get into that. Epic Games last year, response to Steam and all of that to make themselves relevant in news was to open their own store and start giving games away for free. So what's their plan this time around? Is their plan this time around to do the same thing? I don't see how that works. If we delve deeper into the lawsuit itself and look at the quote on, I think it's paragraph 4 of the lawsuit. This is, in my opinion, them trying to win over public opinion by saying, we're the good guys, we're doing this for everyone else. And this is what it says. Epic does not seek monetary compensation from this court for the injuries it has suffered. Weird language, but it's legal documents, so they probably just throw it in there for effect. Epic likewise does not seek a side deal or favorable treatment from Google itself. Instead, Epic seeks injunctive relief that would deliver Google's broken promise an open, competitive Android ecosystem for all users and industry participants. Now, obviously, the language in the Google lawsuit is going to be the same, but slightly different for Apple. But the language used in the lawsuit is basically saying, we're not doing this for any particular reason. We're just doing it because we don't like the practices of the company. Does that sound right to you? It doesn't sound right to me. The wording has been purposely picked like that so that we, the consumer, who's going to be fed it by the media, are basically told Google and Apple are in the wrong. They're the bad guys. The wording used in the lawsuit is to make them seem like they're the good guy. To me, they're not. They are just not. They're trying to hoodwink us. So there is another piece of text from the lawsuit, and this one specifically for Apple. So if I just read it out, Epic brings this lawsuit to end Apple's unfair and anti-competitive actions that Apple undertakes to unlawfully maintain its monopoly in two distinct multi-billion-dollar markets, the iOS Apple distribution market and the iOS in-app payment processing market. Now, on the face of it, I can't argue with what that's saying because Apple is very much a closed system. You can't have another store in the Apple phone. But the blasé attitude of calling it a monopoly when it simply isn't, because a monopoly means that the Apple phone is your only option. We're just completely ignoring the fact that Google Android is Apple's direct competitor. They're not exactly free to do what they want in the market when you have all of the Android phones out there. So what's Epic's point here? I don't see why they're trying to categorize Apple as a monopoly to get what they want, because at the end of the day, I don't see how you could even say that Apple is a monopoly while Google Android is their direct competitor. So let's look at what Epic Games wants from this. What are they wanting? What are they really wanting? They wanted to have their own store compete against Steam. Now, I'm not saying they've failed because they're still growing, but what are they wanting to do on the phone? They only have really Fortnite. They might have another few that are there, but why are they pushing so hard just to make that extra 30% from all purchases? Do they not have enough money? And why are they going about growing by just suing? That's not the way to do it. It seems to me that they want to be at the big boy table. They want to be as big as Apple and Google and Steam are. But this isn't the way to do it. Grow your brand. Continue doing what you were doing. Don't start going after companies that are making profit with the platforms you decide to put your game onto. If you don't like it, make your own phone. Use the money that you're making from Fortnite to actually R&D your own phone and release your own phone. So either continue earning the money the way you're doing, develop more games to make more money, and eventually you'll get there. Don't start suing Apple and Google just because you want to get there quickly and easily without any effort. And don't pretend like you're doing this for the rest of them. Don't pretend like you doing this lawsuit is for every other small developer out there. You're doing it for yourselves. You're not doing it for them. If you were doing it for them, you would have done this ages ago before you even had Fortnite out. So you would have. Why are you doing it now? Because you've just seen a gap in the market and you've seen a way of manipulating whatever government policy you want out of this to get what you want. At the end of the day, Apple nor Google broke any agreements with Epic Games. However, Epic Games turned around and turned on a third-party payment system, which directly broke the terms of use from both services, that purposely got their services and their app blocked. Who's really in the wrong at that point? You've just broke the terms of use on the two platforms you're using. If you wanted to bring this lawsuit, why bring it now and not bring it before? Why not make it an issue before? Why make a stunt, put your name into the news, and make yourself look like the good guy? Is it because you're trying to stay relevant? Because to me, Epic Games always pulls a stunt like this whenever they're trickling out of the minds of the media. That's not a good guy. Nor should we be treating them like the good guy. Don't take what I've said on face value. Read the lawsuit stuff yourself. Look at other YouTube videos and make a decision for yourself. This has been my opinion based on just from what I've seen from Epic Games over the recent years. Google and Apple are not perfect. They're not infallible at all. But Epic Games pretending like they're doing this for us or pretending like they're doing it for the small developers out there, no, I'm sorry, you're not the hero that we have asked for nor want. So if you would like to leave a comment below on what you think of Epic Games, please subscribe. This has been Talkbox.